scored about 5 wins last year in that division at All Tech and made a couple trips over to Volusia. Came to me and said, he wanted to help promote the ministry. And what a great job Tom Smith and the guys, Patrick Williams up there at B4 Signs and Graphics.
Right.
Man, they did a great job on that race car, and it's just going to help promote Jesus and Racing with Jesus Ministries. He put my name on the side of the car with my phone number there. And I didn't quite know how to feel about that at first, but you know what? I got to thinking about it. I'm okay with it. Somebody's got a problem. They don't feel comfortable talking to me in public at the track. They can call me on the phone and talk to me.
Call me on the phone. Exactly.
And, just right here as we're sitting here, I have an instant message come in. Somebody from the racing community right now is asking me if I could call them later. They have need of some prayer. And that's what I do. If I get out here and beat people over the head with a Bible, I'm not going to get people comfortable calling me and asking me to pray for them. People know they can trust me. They know I'm not going to beat them over the head with some of the issues that we deal with in life. And, I can remember one time trying to force feed my dog some medicine on a piece of toast, and he tried to bite me. It's the same way with the Bible. If you try to force feed people religion or anything like that, it's going to turn against you. They're going to turn against you. So basically, we stand alongside people.
But, Joe, one of the things that, what gets me is, you had church at a bar at Bubba Raceway the other night for the Lucas Oil event.
Yeah.
You've had church in the grandstands. You've had church under trees. You've had them in the suites. You can have church anywhere.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I love about what I've seen with not just you, but with everybody at Racing with Jesus Ministries, because I've met some of those people as well at Charlotte at the World Finals and the World Short Track Championship at Lernerville and Volusia, the Dirt Car Nationals and whatnot, is... Yes, they're track chaplains. You're a track chaplain, but you don't try to force the Bible on them.
No.
Every time you come and you see me, it's not, hey, Wesley, have you been to church today, man? Have you been giving your life to the Lord? Have you been making your donations and making offerings?
I don't do that.
No, it's hey, buddy, how's your family doing?
Yeah.
Man, I know you had, car problems. Did you get your car fixed?
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's so good to see you.
Yeah.
It's not anything of trying to force religion off of a religion-based company.
Yeah, well, I wasn't called to do that, and I don't think really. I think the church has kind of, maybe, I don't know what. I'll tell you. I think I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's a podcast. I think the church has kind of taken the wrong approach to people on some of them angles, Wesley. I don't do that. I don't force people to do anything. I don't get in. Heck, I haven't been to church in a couple of weeks. I've been at the racetrack.
But
so
God loves you, and God knows that God knows that you are.
He loves everybody,
but you are producing a service, in His name.
Absolutely.
So God's not going to punish you because you ain't been to church.
He doesn't punish people for not going to church.
Right.
Going to church is good, but God doesn't punish you for not going.
And that's one of the things that get me, Joe Kelly, is so many people say, "Well, racing's godly, and it's ungodly, it's worldly, it's not of this, it's not holy." And I literally turn and shake my head. I'm like, you people are just dipping in the wrong Kool-Aid or drinking the wrong wine or something, as you say, because it's like
as a member of ministry, here's how I would answer that question. I would say, have you heard about the scandals in the Catholic Church and in the Southern Baptist Organization right now?
Oh yeah.
So what are you trying to tell me? Listen, we're dealing with people, and I don't care if they're at a racetrack, if they're sitting at the top corporate levels of a corporate America, if they're in the church, wherever in government, it doesn't matter. We're dealing with people problems. We're not that much different. No matter if we're in racing or corporate America.
That's right.
We all have people problems.
Yeah.
And so I laugh when people say that to me, and really I have quick answers for them. I would say, oh, so have you read the paper lately and seen what's going on in the Catholic Church? Well, you haven't heard about that in the racing community.
Right.
So, and I wouldn't want to go there, but, that's how I would answer that question.
And I think the sad reality is, Joe Kelly, is, we're all human.
Yeah.
We all make mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nobody's perfect.
There's nothing sad about making a mistake.
I do not have, what's the word I'm thinking of, a picturesque background. I've made mistakes in my life. I have done things that I'm not proud of, or been accused of things that I'm not proud of. everybody has a past. Everybody has skeletons in their closet, things that they regret, things that they wish that they didn't do, things that they wish they didn't get involved with, things that maybe they were not a part of. And you just, Joe, tell some of your story. I don't want you to go. Obviously, don't push too far if you feel like you don't need to. But you were really one time a very, I don't mean to say a bad person because I didn't know you back then.
I wasn't.
You had a lot of bad roads in life.
I made a lot of bad decisions in life. I got involved in drugs, at an early age, and
I hear them race cars.
Yeah, they sound.
Do you
great,
hear them?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! I hope y'all heard that in the background on the podcast. That was so cool hearing them motors rev.
So I got involved in some things that aren't good for you and cause you to really not make good decisions.
Right.
And basically, Wesley, I'm going to read you something. I do the word of the day on Facebook every day. I've been doing it for years. And
yes, sir.
Here's one of the things that I did today. And basically, how I do these is I when I wake up, I do my prayer, whatever, there's nothing really structured about it. And I just kind of go with what's on my heart. So today was how to deal with past failures, ? The best thing to do is to give it a decent burial and get on with your new life. God's Spirit is beckoning you and calling you, and there are things to do and places to go, so move forward. We all have problems. We all have stuff. Everybody has got stuff. Everybody. I got stuff. And so the best thing to do, move forward. Don't focus on all that junk, and that's my background is pretty much dead to me today. Because I don't focus on that stuff. I focus on moving forward, helping people, and that's what I do. I try to help people. I try to be nice to people. Listen, I'm not real good in the compassion area. I ask God every day, Lord, help me to be compassionate, because I've always been really the hard ass all my life.
Right.
And that's not a good feeling. As almost 50 years old. I start thinking about, man, you've been really mean to people in the past, and, I can't focus on that. So what I do is I ask the Lord to help me with my compassion, and I move forward, and I try to help people. I try to be nice to people. I'm pretty daggum sarcastic, and you know that about me. and really, I have to bite my tongue. Some people will say, why aren't you talking? Right. I'm a talker.
Yeah.
And because I have nothing good to say right now. I'm very sarcastic, and I try to stay away from that area of my life.
I'm not going to go into all of the details about everything, but you know about it. I went through a certain situation like that last Saturday where you're amongst friends, you're amongst people that you really, really look up to and you love and you care for, and you kind of feel like they're distant to you. They're kind of cold to you. But once they finally sit down and they tell you why they feel the way they feel, either you can take it or you can leave it. Mm-hmm. You can respect what they're trying to tell you, or you can just say, you're crazy. I'm just going to do what I want to do. This is my life, and I don't need you, butting in.
One thing about our society, and we're talking about religion and racing. So one thing about our society today is we've come to a point where another person can't say anything to another person without them being offended.
Absolutely.
That's bull.
And that only just not only goes into religion, that goes into bashing as well.
Absolutely.
And I know we tried to steer away from this subject because I know that wasn't your purpose of being on the podcast, but bashing religion, it kind of goes hand in hand in some certain aspects.
Here's the thing. If I'm your friend,
yeah.
If I'm, with my kids, my grandkids, if I can't say something to them and that, constructively, something's wrong. And we've come to that spot in our society today. We really have. And I value people that are older than me. I value today what they have to say, and I literally listen to it because I wish I had done that. Man, if I had listened to my mom and dad coming up more, man, you know how many mistakes I would have avoided? And so I try to put those things into practice today in my life, and that's basically what I do. I just try to live one day at a time, because I'm not capable of living any further than that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? One day at a time, I do the best I can for people. And man, it's great to have some of the people like Tom Smith that's helped out with that late model advertising, Racing with Jesus Ministries. I'm blessed to work with people like the Borderline Brawl this year. I work with Dale Hall, Leo Johnson. This year, we're doing it at Waycross Motor Speedway. Michelle Carter Stone has been, man, it's a blessing. I tell her she's my hero. You know, she's a hard worker. She's very, very, man, she is on tune with what's going on at her racetrack. It's been great working with these people. To me, I kid and joke with all these people, but those three people that I just mentioned, they're a blessing to me in my life. I mean, to me, it's like, thank you. I thank God for people like that in my life. Right. People say, do you really do that? Heck yeah. I'm driving down the road. I'll turn the radio off and I'll say, you know what, Lord, thank you for these people that you've put in my life. They are literally making, you know, when God puts people in your life, he does it for a reason. And it doesn't have,
I believe that.
It doesn't always have to be a long-term thing. Sometimes they're temporary friendships or whatever. But man, I value those relationships, and God puts these people that I just mentioned, they're great people, man, and I am blessed to have them in my life.
Yeah, it's kind of what you talk about. It's kind of one of the things that I've seen several times in the world of social media and in comedies. And Tyler Perry, as Medea, quotes it as its best and says, people come in seasons.
Yeah.
Sometimes people come that are, you know, for a winter, some for a summer, for a fall, for a couple of years. And then there's other people that are like really, really close people that you have as like a branch. Right. And they are something that is a root that will grow and to help you become a better person or to help you have a good life. And sometimes we make the mistake and think that a season's a branch. And then the next thing you know, your life's in turmoil, your life's in peril. You don't know what's going on. I've been down that road myself. We've all have. We all have. That's not, I mean, bottom line, we've all been, anybody that's listening to this podcast on Fox Sports Radio or iHeartRadio, Tuned In Radio, CRN Sports Network, iTunes, Tuned In, and you've said, I'm a perfect person. I've never done anything wrong in my life. I've never done anything. I'm a great guy. I wake up in the morning and I piss excellence. Yeah. Part of my language. You're lying to yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bottom line.
I just try to keep life pretty simple. I don't take everything real serious, man. And I'm blessed. This year, last year I was blessed. This year I'm going to be blessed working with great people. Man, I can't say enough about the people that I work with here at Bubba Raceway Park. You, Wendell Durrance up at Alltech Raceway. Hey, man, some of the nicest people in racing that I know, Mark and Bridget Whitener. Mark and Bridget Whitener coming on board again for the Borderline Brawl as title sponsors. Sometimes they've caught bad rap in racing. Man, they're some of the nicest people that I know.
Absolutely.
And I you know, so I try to just take each season, each person, one day at a time. And I love the motorsports community, man, and Racing with Jesus Ministries. We just love being a part of it. We're blessed to be part of this community. We really are.
You know, it's amazing how fast these podcasts started. It's already almost time to wrap it up. I know exactly. I got a countdown clock right here in front of me. So, but we appreciate y'all for tuning in. We got about 6 minutes left to go in the program before we have to part ways and go back to our network servers in California. But again, thank you so much to my great friend Dean Wilson, producer, and of course also thank you to Joe Kelly for joining me. Before we jump off here, we got about 4 or 5 more minutes left. Speed Weeks. You got Speed Weeks at Daytona. You've got the Daytona 500, the Super Bowl of racing, the Great American Race. I was at Daytona on Sunday for the 500 qualifying for the Clash. Hendrick cars look really, really strong. Alex Bowman, of course, on the outside. The front row is William Byron. You've got that relationship of not only Chad Knaus parting ways with Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson wins the Clash, even though he causes a 20-car pileup to do it. You know, and again, I don't see how there was really he's at fault. Weather's coming. You know it's coming to the end of the race. You know you got to make a move. He went down to the bottom, and I'll tell you something else too, Joe Kelly, and a lot of people don't realize that, and that's what we talked about social media bashing. These cars, especially in the Cup Series, are so aerodynamically, where if you just taper off the spacer just one little bit, if you go off the grill and cut someone's air off the back of their car, they're going around. And I honestly think that's what happened when Johnson got to Paul Menard's left side on Sunday.
I don't think Jimmy would do anything. I mean, I don't think he did that intentionally.
No.
And here's the thing. 90% of the people commenting on social media,
They don't know what they're talking
they don't
about.
know what they're talking. I don't know what I'm
I
talking
mean that
about.
with no disrespect.
No, I've never driven one of those cars. How could I basically make an educated opinion on what happened
Right.
until I've actually